Okay, welcome to this question 2 part B. Now, as you can see in the information box, we have a request to look at the additional information provided in the scenario booklet. So let's have a look at that for the moment. And you'll note that what we have is a table of all the different members of the program. We have all the area in the company and their different backgrounds. I'm going to look at see a couple of these will suit on the particular role that we're looking for. So you'll get this using this information. Remember, looking at the objective information and about what it's really about. So let's go back and look at the question itself. So only 2 questions in here. So the first one, look at the CFO, the Chief Financial Officer, has been identified as a member of the sponsoring group. Now that's quite interesting because obviously the CFO has to do with finance and to do with funding the program, so that would be probably an interesting role to put that CFO in. Now, the way to approach these type of questions in this particular case, you can see it has no or yes, so decide whether it's no or yes, and then why. You have your answer there. So the CFO has been identified as a member of the group. We just said that would be probably a good idea because they represent the finance of the business and the key decision maker within the organization, therefore relevant to the funding of the program, which is what the sponsoring group would be doing. So, having decided yes first of all, and got our statements, we can ignore A and B because they're looking at no, hoping that obviously we picked the right, that is an affirmative. So let's have a look at the 2 statements down here. Remember, they may both be right, but they've both got one's got to be relevant to the question. So first of all, yes, because approval of funding for the program needs senior level commitment within the sponsoring group. Well, that looks pretty good because that's exactly what the CFO would be doing and has key decision maker from the finance point of view. That looks more like the answer, close to what we thought. Or D, because the SRO would like to be a peer member of the sponsoring group. Well, as much as that's a true statement, it's got nothing to do with supporting the fact that this Chief Financial Officer will be a good member of the sponsoring group. So the answer here will be C. Right. So who should the sponsoring group appoint as the SRO? So it's either going to be the HR director or the facilities director. Right. So when we talk about the SRO, senior responsible owner of the program, so the HR director is most likely to be one to be picking for that role because that role represents the area of the business going to have the biggest change in place, right? So the centre here, the facility directors are going to be offering certain aspects to the program as part of it, so not really relevant to the overall program's transformational change. So let's look at the statements around it. Yes, because the HR director is accountable manager in the business area most affected. It looks pretty, stable to me, pretty reasonable statement to make. Or because business stability should be monitored to ensure it stays within the acceptable levels. Right. So although the SRO is probably data that, from the particular level monitored within the particular business area, that's more of a BCM role. So that's not necessarily the role for an SRO. So the answer here is A, because this is directly looking at the particular whole program and the rollout as it is, and not just one specific area. So hopefully that's answered your concerns in case you didn't pick out the right answer there. Right, so the first one is answer C, and in question 2 it is answer A. Any concerns, use the platform to address them to the tutor if reading through the chapter doesn't help you understand the specific roles and requirements within our program.